negative exponents. If an exponent, oh, I hope I can fit this in here. If an exponent is negative, take the reciprocal and change the exponent. That means, so if it's negative, you guys, when you move it, the exponent will be, so if it was a negative exponent, when you move it, it becomes positive. So remember, it's unhappy wherever it is, and then when you move it, it's happy again, okay? So if right now you guys are unhappy, so if I put you back into your bed, you would be happy, you would be positive. So change the exponent.
Why would it? I like seeing my friends at school. I have friends at school.
Okay. So I'm going to show you two different things. Now the other thing I want to tell you is that with the zero rule and the negative rule, you're going to do the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. You do all of those before you start applying the zero rule and the negative rule. These two rules are the last things that you do. Okay, so you get your final answer, then you start moving. Okay, so here we go. Let's say you see a variable raised to the negative fifth. The first thing you need to know is think about the coefficient. So what number is in front of A? If there's no number in front of A, it's 1. So I want you to know that. So that's what that means. Okay? 1, so now it says take, if the exponent is negative, which is negative, what is attached to the negative exponent? The 1 or the A? The A. So the 1 is going to stay in the numerator because it's fine where it is. But the A doesn't like to be above ground, okay? So anytime you see a variable with a negative and it's not in a fraction, that means it's above ground. It means it's in the numerator of the fraction. It doesn't want to be there. It wants to be underground. It wants to be in that denominator. So I'm going to rewrite it. And then it says change the exponent. Well, it was negative here, so when I rewrite it, it becomes positive. Okay. Look what it says. If an exponent is negative, does it say anything about the coefficient? No. Only thing that's negative is the exponent. So negative 8 is perfectly fine where it's at. And right now it's in the numerator of the fraction. It's above ground. So it's going to stay there. The f, on the other hand, is being raised to that negative 7th power. The negative 7 is the exponent. That's not happy. It's not happy. It wants to be back in bed. Okay? So we're going to put it underneath the covers. And once I put it underneath the covers, it becomes happy again. So remember, wherever you see a negative exponent, if it's in the denominator of the fraction, it doesn't want to be there. It would rather be in the numerator. Let's do another one. Of course, I'm going to do another one, right? Because.
Of course, I take a picture.
Okay. Okay. So what happens is you've done your division, you've done all of this stuff, right? And you see a negative exponent. Well, what happens is, see how it's in the denominator? What did I tell you? It didn't like whatever C was doing, it's excited. Like it means their plans got canceled. It wants to get out of bed because they have some exciting plans. It's probably the weekend, right? Where you guys don't have to come to school. That's probably what it is. Okay? So the 4 is going to stay. The C goes right next to the 4. And because it was negative down in the denominator, now it's positive. So this is the power rule. So this would mean 4 to the negative 2, c to the negative 2. Okay. Now, is the 4 happy where it's at? Nope. Is the c happy where it's at? Was the c happy where it was at? Okay, no. Thanks for the answer, guys. Appreciate that. Now, do you think I can leave it as 4 squared, though? What is 4 squared? That's probably, I don't want to say the hardest one, but that's, I want to say maybe, I don't want to say tricky, but that's the one that you have to take time. You guys, no one is rushing you on this. Just take your time. Remember, everything like in its time, okay? So can you flip this over? I want to do a couple examples with you. And then, let's do that. Okay, so what would we do with the 10 and the 2? Divide. What is 10 divided by 2? 5. And then what would we do with the exponents? We would subtract, right? So we would do 4 minus 11. Now, in our calculator, we can do that. But remember, in real life, you could never do 4 minus 11. You can't do that. You didn't have enough money. So what is 4 minus 11? You had $4, you spent 11, so you know it's going to be negative, right? So what is 11 minus 4? 7. Okay. So you see how we applied the product? We applied the quotient rule. That was the quotient rule. Now we're going to apply that negative property. Is the 5 okay where it's at? So the 5 is going to stay in the numerator. Where does E go? Does it stay with the 5 or does it go down below? It goes in the denominator. And that's your final answer. Let's do one more. We had time for one more. Okay. What are we doing with the negative 3 and the negative 2? What is negative 3 times negative 2? What do we do with the negative 2 and the 2 on the E? What's negative 2 plus 2? What's 4 plus negative 8? It is time. Okay, go ahead. We'll finish that one tomorrow. There is, believe it or not, there is no homework tonight.